Okay, so throughout the chapter, right? Hoster Tully keeps saying the words Tansy. We went over a little bit in the um summary, but so I pulled up some of the Song of Ice and Fire Reddit theories and stuff like that are going around. It says we know that most Lord Hoster Tully's dying words are around a woman named Tansy, a name that Catelyn doesn't recognize. Lord Tully seems very guilt-ridden about her. Later in the series, we learn that there is a Tansy that's a barmaid in the Riverlands. So is there a chance, that there's a bastard of House Tully running around, waiting to avenge the Great House? Don't know about that, but some of the some of the some of the comments here, Liza, when she's raving, actually gives us a recipe for moon tea at one point. She doesn't call it that, but some of the stuff she mentions pennyroyal, wormwood, has been used to cause abortions. Tansy, the plant, is one of the things she mentions. So,
Wow.
this guy says here, the chain of events, you put it together. Here we go. Little Petire, as they call it in the books,
I know.
Petire Baelish, right? He
Mhm.
switches back and forth, but we call it Peter, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
every once in a while, I do slip up and
You
call it
got
that.
to.
Little Peter, right, is in love with Catelyn, tries to fight Brandon Stark for her hand. He fails miserably. He's wounded in the fight. The wound gets infected, and he has a raging fever. Liza recognizes the opportunity to sleep with the guy she's been wanting to sleep with while he's delirious enough to think she's Catelyn. She makes love with him. That's kind of rape, but she's a young teen at this point. Liza realizes that she's pregnant. Whoops. Hoster Tully finds out, sends Peter Baelish back to the Fingers. Then he tricks Liza into drinking moon tea to abort the baby. She doesn't know what she's drinking. She wanted that baby. Losing it destroys her, and she forever considers her father a murderer. Besides destroying her, the moon tea, or maybe the miscarriage that it included, also very specifically destroyed her reproductive system. Her dad marries her off hastily to John Aaron, and they try to have kids, but each one dies or has a
Mhm.
miscarriage. The only one to live is Robin, who's sickly and in danger of dying at any moment. Each miscarriage, stillbirth, and close call with Robin leaves Liza a little more insane. Each one is tragic in its own right, but each one also reminds her of that first baby, the one, if she could have kept, would have changed her life. So that's why Tully is calling out Tansy on his deathbed. He wanted Liza to forgive him before he died, not just for the loss of the baby, but for the way that losing that baby ruined her life.
Yeah.
He says Littlefinger was drunk, not feverish. Edit. So I think that the Tansy that's a barmaid is a total misdirect. I think it is far more likely that the Tansy is the drug. I don't think Tansy is a person,
Mhm.
unless maybe it's both. I don't know. It could be Tansy gets used as a name. Maybe she was going to name the baby Tansy. She thought it was going to be a girl. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, Lysa doesn't come. Oh, I know the excuse is the war and all these different things, but she does not make any effort to come over, or even write back. I think to Catelyn about her father's death, and she's mentioned multiple, like, he's dying, he's not going to make it, and there's no real move or seemingly like effort to come see him one last time. So yeah, there must
Yeah.
be sort of a major riff between them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that the Tansy he's thinking about is it for starters, because some people have also theorized that it's maybe he was with a girl named Tansy or something, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's sort of another thread onto this theory. But for me, I think it is he gave her this moon tea Tansy, like another name for it, whatever, different version of it, causing her to have a miscarriage. And I think it is likely that it was with Baelish.
Yep.
He gets, because Baelish, for whatever reason, thinks that he took Catelyn's honor. Catelyn says he didn't.
Right. Which is
But
actually,
would you
in
put it
addition,
past Catelyn to just lie about it? I don't know.
I don't know, yeah, maybe. But one addition to what you read there, I've seen that there's another situation that maybe not just once Lysa kind of got with Littlefinger, but maybe twice. And once was like
Right.
he was kind of put out or drunk after a kiss or something with Catelyn, I
Right.
think. And then he thought like that Lysa was Catelyn maybe, and then the other one was the wounding, the fight, the afterwards, the fight afterwards.
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, either way, it seems like, yeah, she definitely forced herself on Littlefinger, and then he kind of used that relationship and her position of power uh, in the Vale, right, to climb his ladder, and then to
Right.
cause chaos, to be an agent of chaos, and John Aaron, and basically them plotting to kill him, and then bringing in Eddard Stark, getting him killed, the whole thing, just a way in which he can rise through the ranks, sort of get revenge on the people that that wronged him back when he was younger and stuff. Because really, kind of through his brother, through Eddard Stark, he's able to get that kind of, it's his paid city watch that come in there and take Eddard Stark. Treachery, straight treachery.
I'm looking up the there's another big thread about it. Because a lot of these, it's like the Westeros forum and Reddit. It's typically like one of them will always sort of rise to the top.
Yep.
There's another one here. Let me just share this as well. This is just the forum, which is attached to the wiki. There's this one's he goes on to say here, or she goes on here to say here. So who is this person? Hoster Tully mentions a Tansy and forgiveness and the pain of the milk of the poppy into sleep. Catelyn hears him but doesn't know what of a Tansy, and Hoster no longer seems to be able to coherent. In the Arya chapter in A Storm of Swords, we meet a Tansy. I can only assume this is the same one. She's described several times as a red-haired, which seems a blatant drop-in. Now I notice that Catelyn and Lysa are both red-haired, so could Tansy be a daughter of Hoster's? From the way she is, I assume Tansy's around 30. So being Hoster's daughter is a possibility. Do we learn more about her in later books? As far as sort of asking questions. This brings me on to Bella, a prostitute in the Peach, where we meet Tansy. She tells Gendry and Arya that she might be Robert's bastard, and the wiki says that she is an unacknowledged bastard of his. She claims that her mother was a favorite of Robert's before/during the Battle of the Bells. So my question is, who is her mother? And the Battle of the Bells is brought up in this chapter. Again, sorry that this person's out, but this person goes on to say here, Tansy is a plant used to induce abortions. Hoster is saying Tansy because he regrets making Lysa take it. And afterwards, we know Lysa can't have kids. So it goes on to there. And everyone sort of agrees with that. But just so for reference,
there are consider the other side of it.
That is kind of, those are the two sort of sides of the argument.
Right. Is that, maybe he had a bastard child, or got with someone who was named, maybe they attempted to abort some child and it didn't work, or something like that,
And this is one of those theories that's kind of unfortunate, because I don't think we're ever going to get any answers on it.
Yeah,
because it's already we're already past where it would play itself out, unless Littlefinger brings it up at some point in the future. There's no, and so like this is kind of one of the things I think we need to think about with a lot of the other theories. We've not every theory is getting explained, folks. No. Unfortunately. But no. So this is kind of, unless Tansy is a bastard of Hoster Tully, but I guess what would that do for us going forward in Winds of Winter and A Dream Spring?
Not much.
Nothing,
I mean,
nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it would do it, because the thing is, like you said, a lot of the people that this would matter to, are gone, right? Catelyn's Lady Stoneheart, Lysa's dead, Hoster's gone. You got Edmure captured, maybe doing his thing. Blackfish still might care a little bit, but she's just working. I just don't think it's going to matter that much. That's actually what I've wondered a lot of times about the bastards. It's really just a clue to almost like, so ridiculous. And we have a historical context for it too. You have like the lesser bastards and the greater bastards, those. So one would be Edric Storm, right? Edric Storm is an acknowledged bastard, correct, of Robert.
Yes.
And so that he has some, I mean, he's got more, since he's a bastard of a high lady, he has some potential to be given the name Baratheon or Florent or whatever, or to be given some title or some land or something. That's a possibility. But these other ones, they don't really, you know, like they're kind of not, I don't know. They're not going to like Gendry. I mean, he's going to befriend some people and maybe,
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know that that the realm is going to be that open to getting behind Robert's bastard to who, not even a great lady of any kind or whatever. So that seems to be a conversation. That seems to be something that George says in the histories, like with Aegon. Is it Aegon the Fourth? I always blank. Is it Aegon the Unworthy?
Yeah.
Aegon the Unworthy, yeah. So Aegon the Fourth and all of his bastards, right? I mean, he had many more that weren't. I mean, again, I know he legitimizes all of them, as Matt always says, but
Mhm.
some had higher kind of positions just based upon the positions of their mother, you know, and then also their relationship to Targaryen bastards, right? Versus non-Targ. I mean, you know, having a
Right.
mother who was a Blackwood, right, or whatever, a Bracken. So
Yeah.